I wanted to talk a bit about what we talk about in 2023. So, I mean, last year I did a presentation where I said about 5 to 10% of code was generated by AI. 2 weeks ago, I read an article that Google claimed that 25% of their code is actually generated by AI. Can you imagine 25%? That's a huge amount of code. Now, I don't know if it's a boilerplate code or any other kind of code, but it's still code that's not been written by human beings, which I think is really cool. It shows a trend that we are going more and more into generative AI swing. And I think that in the next 6 months or maybe a year, I probably won't even talk about generative AI anymore. We'll have other things to talk about. GPT-4.01, the model that generates equations rather than code or descriptions that can solve mathematics and physics PhD level problems. That's just a step away from solving PhD level problems in computer science and software engineering. We need to think how we get ahead of that. That's really, really interesting development. Last year, we talked about the sizes of models going up and down and big and small models. This year, if we go to conferences, the people don't talk about the size anymore. They just take one framework, Olama, which became some sort of a go-to standard for models. We did actually a hackathon at Boeing. I don't know if anyone from Boeing is here today. Yeah, we did a hackathon, and we're actually developing software using those models, and the teams were developing both requirements, software, and test cases in tandem to actually test different kind of models. What we also have the developments that we will talk about is the Copilot computers. I mean, a lot of software that has been generated in data centers are now generated on small computers. So if you buy a new Copilot system today, you can generate your company code on that computer. So all problems with legals and sending data over internet disappears. Was actually given a very cool tool from Bosch. Is anybody from Bosch here? Yeah, from Bosch last month to play around. It's a tool that takes a big model and puts it on an Arduino level device. So you can run a small large language model on an Arduino device, this kind of size in native C, which is really cool. I'll do a project with students on that. And what we're talking about in our team is basically moving from software engineer 1.0, which is given the age of the audience, I think people recognize, when you had one manager telling people what to do. Then we were all in the empowered kind of thing. I can tell you that already there I got lost. I didn't know how to work with empowered teams and self-organizing team. I couldn't organize myself. I needed Peter to tell me how to do it. That was the Agile. Now we're talking about AI-assisted software engineer 3.0, where you have one person working with a number of bots that will do your software, your requirements, your testing, your deployment. And if you think this is high-tech sci-fi thingy, look at Code Whisperer, Copilot, and those kind of tools. They will help you deploy your software, and maybe, if you're lucky, 50% of the code is going to be yours, if you're lucky. So if you go to posters, I will not go through all of them. Please visit them, talk to our researchers. They are tackling the problems I talked about. And if you're not happy with the posters, after lunch, we're going to talk about quantum computing. So I don't know if you've heard about Google claiming that they discovered the parallel universe or multiverse. So actually, yesterday I went into the paper. They don't talk about that in the paper, so may just be a YouTube trick. But what they talk about in the paper that's really important is the fact that they actually increase the amount of or the time frame for errorless calculations. So now they can calculate they can do 3 times 10 to 9 cycles without an error, which is a huge deployment. Previously it was every second. Now they talk about running this computer for about an hour and getting it set up very fast. And in that session, we'll have Mikael from IBM, we have Morten from Chalmers Next Lab, and we have Peter from Boeing Jeppesen talking about the developments in quantum computing. So if you're not happy with the posters, I hope that you can visit that session. And with this, I'm done. I hope I didn't go over my time. No? Okay. Thank you, Anne.